When I'm recording these videos, a lot of times I'm talking to my former self because I used to do the same exact thing. I wanted an outcome, but I didn't want to do the work required to get that outcome. It takes what it takes. If you're not willing to make that trade-off, then maybe pick a smaller goal. Maybe pick a smaller vision, because the vision you want that's in your head, the one that's going to change lives, the one that's going to change the world, the one that's going to provide you the confidence, the look you want, the health you want, the wealth you want, it's going to require sacrifice. I have this routine that I recently started where I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the gym by 5, I'm getting a hard workout in for about an hour and a half. I try to record something throughout the process, whether it's like this, talking to the camera, something workout related, and then I take my butt to work, trying to make some money. Then after I get off work, I'm editing these videos, I'm talking to my clients, I'm working on their programs. I have completely maximized my day to make every single minute is done with intention. And the client I was talking to, she told me, man, I just wish I had the motivation to get up at 4 o'clock and do all the things you're doing. I just wish I had the motivation. And I said, motivation? What do you mean motivation? I don't have a choice. If when that alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. and I decide to stay in bed for just 30 extra minutes, that's gonna cut into my workout. If it cuts into my workout, it's gonna cut into these videos, so cut into this content, so cut into the very thing that I find my meaning in, which is giving back to people, giving the knowledge, giving the education, giving the mindset, giving the tools they need to become the best version of themselves. If I sleep for just 30 minutes, I'm gonna miss that opportunity to affect somebody today. If I don't maximize my workout, if when I'm in the gym, I'm not going balls to the wall without my phone, completely locked in and focused on working my body, training, and recording these videos, if I spend 5 minutes scrolling on my phone, it's gonna cut into the time I have to record this stuff and do what I know I need to do. I don't have time for any BS in between. Like, I don't have time to do that. If I don't make the sales that I need to make, I'm not gonna have the income I need to do this stuff freely. Because right now I'm able to do this stuff pretty freely without having to worry about getting a check from it. Like, I'm not recording this stuff to get paid. I don't make money from YouTube. So by maximizing my performance at work, I'm able to provide the income I need to do this freely. After I work 8 to 10 hours, after I get off work around 4 or 5 o'clock, I have about 3 to 4 hours to edit this content, talk to my clients, do my client check-ins, redo their programs if need be, upgrade my current programs, provide more value to my clients. If I don't maximize that only 3 to 4 hours that I have, I'm not gonna have time to do what I need to do. So it's like, it's not a matter of being motivated. If you're relying on motivation, you're not gonna make it very far, because motivation is not gonna get you to where you need to be. You gotta be disciplined, you gotta be intentional about your actions. Everything is done with intention. I eat a certain way because I want a certain result. I train a certain way because I want a certain result. I operate and I speak and I work a certain way because I want a certain result and I want a certain outcome. I want a certain future. And you're gonna have to sacrifice the person you are today. You're gonna have to sacrifice the shitty food you're eating today. You're gonna have to sacrifice these BS days in the gym when you just come in here and you go through the motions. You got to sacrifice the Netflix and chill with your girl, with your friends. You got to sacrifice all the things that are not getting you close to your goals to get to where you want to go. And if you're not willing to make that sacrifice, be prepared. Be prepared to live in a life that you know is not of your fullest potential. There's no way around it. I'm trying to make you guys understand, because a lot of times I'm making these videos, when I'm recording these videos, a lot of times I'm talking to my former self, because I used to do the same exact thing. I wanted an outcome, but I didn't want to do the work required to get that outcome. It takes what it takes. If you're not willing to make that trade-off, then maybe pick a smaller goal. Maybe pick a smaller vision, because the vision you want that's in your head, the one that's going to change lives, the one that's going to change the world, the one that's going to provide you the confidence, the look you want, the health you want, the wealth you want, it's going to require sacrifice. If you can't put down the drugs, if you can't put down the alcohol, if you can't put down the late nights partying, wasting time. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying you can't go out and have a good time every once in a while, but if every single weekend you're looking forward to going out and getting drunk with the boys and kicking it and chilling instead of working on your vision, you don't want it bad enough. If you're choosing these things that are not bringing you close to your goals, you don't want it bad enough. And most people don't want to admit that. I didn't want to admit that. I said I wanted it, but I wasn't willing to make the sacrifices. So I'm telling you right now, the vision in your mind is going to require sacrifice. It's not a matter of being motivated. It's about putting your day in order. What time do I have to get up? What do I have to eat? How do I have to train? How do I have to operate? How do I have to organize my day so I get the most out of my time? How do I become maximally productive to where there's no time being wasted? Every single minute, every single action is done with intention to get me to my goal, to get me to my vision, to fulfill the purpose I have on this earth. Like, what can I do? How can I systemize my day to make this outcome I want possible? No wasted time. No wasted time. So no, I'm not motivated when I wake up in the morning. I am intentional. I have a mission to do. And the only way I'm gonna be able to execute on my mission is if I have the day that I'm having right now. And you best believe, once I'm able to wake up later and sleep in a little bit longer, at least until the sun comes up, I'm going to push my wake up time back. But at this very moment in my life, at this stage in my life, it requires me to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get my workout in, record my content, get my butt to work, and still have time to work on my business after I get off of work. This is what happens right now. This is what is required right now at this very moment. Now, one day in the future, when I'm no longer having to do the full-time job, when my business is doing what it needs to do to give me the income I need to fulfill it full-time, maybe I'll move my workout time back. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I become such a freaking unit and such a Superman-like person that I keep my 4 a.m. wake up intact. But right now, I'm not doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I have to. And the vision in your mind, if it's really gonna impact your life and others' lives as much as you think it will, it's gonna require a lot of discomfort. And if you're not prepared for that discomfort, you don't want your vision. You gotta get prepared for it and seek it and understand that the discomfort is necessary. Whatever it is you're chasing, it's this close. It's this close. But God's not gonna give you this thing until you do the work, until you get uncomfortable, until you do what it takes, until you sacrifice the things that are not bringing you closer to this thing here. It's this close. It's this close. But it's not gonna come easy. It's not gonna come without work. It's not gonna come without sacrifice. It's not gonna come without a burning desire to make it happen. And you gotta be able to keep that desire, keep that work ethic, keep that mission at the forefront of your mind, even at your lowest of times, even when the motivation goes out the window, even when you don't feel like waking up, even when your muscles are sore, your brain is on fire, and you just can't, you don't feel like you can go any further. You gotta attack it even harder. That is the only way. That is the only way.